girls. Are you gonna holler at me the whole time unless I give you something to eat? That screaming is pig for yes, yes I am. Look at that walking stick kale. It's starting to grow with these warm days. Some of these turnips stayed down here way too long. I have to show you this. Look at this. It's nuts. These are definitely pig food. I accidentally left a lot of these turnips in the garden too long and they started to split. So I've just left them there since then. And I just come harvest a couple at a time to give to the animals when I'm down here. Journey pig, she likes house leftovers. Hey kitten George. Did you see me talking to the camera? I got challenged in a video by my friend Joshua over at the City Stead. He has a really cool channel. He found his channel because he did kind of a variation of our arched trellises. And instead of taking one long cattle panel and bending it over the way that we do, because he doesn't have a way to get those cattle panels home, he actually gets 2 8-foot panels and then puts those together. And I thought that was a really brilliant variation of that. So since then I've been checking out their channel, and they have a super sweet family, a beautiful garden. They're up in Michigan. Now the City Stead challenged me to participate in this collaboration, which was started by the Wright Farms, and I will tag both of those channels down below. I'll link them so you can check them out, support them, and help them get established here on YouTube. But I thought this was a really cool topic to talk about, which is my 5 most anticipated seed varieties of 2019. I'm gonna cheat on this, just so you know. Like, I'm not going to tell you 5 specific varieties. I don't think that that's possible, but I'm going to tell you some kind of like groups of varieties and maybe a few specifics. The chickens like massive turnips. For those of you who are ready to just cuss me for growing your seed wish list to massive proportions, today's video, you know, I'm talking about things that I've never tried before, so I'm gonna tell you about them and why I'm excited about them. But if you want to just hang out and wait until I give them a try before you throw them on your wish list, that would be the reasonable thing to do. There are a lot of things that I'm looking forward to growing. A lot of those things are things I've grown in the past, and I'm really excited and anticipating them growing again. I've been walking through my garden making plans just about every day, especially now that the weather has warmed up. But I'm still a couple months away from this being a lush, beautiful, and productive place. So I'm still kind of perusing the seed catalogs and my own seed collection, deciding what I'm going to give garden space to. I've got my tried and true varieties, and I've made a video about that, which I will link here. But there are a few things that I've heard about that I absolutely want to try in 2019. Some of these I have the seeds for out here with us in my back pocket. Some of them I do not have the seeds for because I don't have any yet, or they're somewhere in my house in a box that I couldn't quickly access for the... Kitten George just about gave me heart failure. I don't know what was happening, but I thought my camera was about to bite the dust. Okay, we're back. Okay, seeds. I guess let's just talk about what's in my pocket, the things I already have the seeds for. I'm really looking forward to this variety of squash, Zucchino rampicante. I might be saying that wrong because it sounds like it's French. I am definitely Arkansan. So this is a vining summer squash. Now you can eat it as a winter squash by letting it grow longer and letting the rind harden. But you can also pick this at about 15 inches and eat it as a tender summer variety, but it vines. And I'm super excited about that because a lot of the summer squashes, most of the summer squashes that I've grown in the past have been bush varieties, and I like that, but I just like that this is something different with all of the arched trellises that we have. Vining summer squash is really exciting to me because I think it's going to be fun to grow. And also just look at it. That's really a neat looking variety. It's supposed to have really mild sweet flesh, and I also really like the fact that if we're just completely overrun with squash, that I can give this some support on a trellis and let it finish out as a winter squash. I think that's a really cool thing. Okay, so there's no picture on this, but these are Orange Glow watermelons. There's the spelling. We got to visit the Baker Creek Seed Expo in Santa Rosa, California last year, and while we were there they did this massive watermelon tasting, and actually Doug and Stacy were also there and they did a watermelon tasting, and one of the watermelons that just got rave reviews was the Orange Glow, and it's a large melon with orange flesh, and just hearing everybody talk about how fantastic the flavor was made me want to give this one a try. Last year we did the Moon and Stars, we did the Jubilee, Crimson Sweet, and we liked all of those, but I'm excited about this one. I love trying new things. I've never grown an orange flesh watermelon. This one's kind of cool, and I actually have seeds started for this already because it's a brassica, so it's alright for me here in 7B to already have the seeds going. Romanesco broccoli. You might have seen this before in photos. It is absolutely gorgeous. Obviously this is just a little illustration, but the pictures of this vegetable to me are just, I don't know, it's one of those naturally occurring things that kind of takes my breath away because it's so geometric. I don't know, it's really a neat plant. If you've never heard of this before, I really suggest at the very least going to look it up. Okay, so I've said 3 things. All right, next, I don't have the seeds on me. They're in my house. Wild Boar Farms has a couple of new tomato varieties. Now, Brad from Wild Boar Farms breeds tomatoes. He is coming out with new stuff often. He's always stabilizing new things. And he has a couple of tomatoes that he has bred out of mutations and really recessive genes that I think are gonna be so neat. The first one is called Painted Lady, and it is a tomato that actually has a variegated leaf. So it's gonna have these different splashes of shades of light green and cream on the leaf, and I'm so excited for a variegated leaf tomato because I've never grown one, so I think that's going to be really neat. Also, he's got a variety called Cherokee Rose, and it's like a muted skin mutation of the Cherokee Purple, which I love Cherokee Purple, and so something that's just like matte instead of shiny. It's just going to be like an interesting version of a tomato that I already love. So that's two varieties kind of clumped in there on that. I've been pretty good so far. I've only listed 5, but I want to talk about one more, which I have a few things that fall into this. I'm really excited about growing flowers, and I know that's very broad. I don't think that I could list my varieties that I'm excited about within 15, much less 5. Now, last year I started one whole tray of marigolds all out of the same pack. I started, you know, several calendulas all out of the same pack, and they were all just like really basic. Yellow marigolds, Resina calendulas, all blue borage, and just the flowers that I planted were wonderful. I did zinnias in my garden last year, and early on in the spring, all the zinnias I started were from the same package. Now later I did add some variation in. But later on in the summer, as I kind of started really venturing into the world of flowers in a larger way outside of the handful that I had grown before, I was like, man, there's so many choices. So this year I think I have about 15 varieties of zinnias that I'm gonna try, probably 10 calendulas, all different kinds. I'm gonna do cosmos, that's one that I'm really looking forward to putting in the garden. A couple different colors of borage. It comes in blue and white, I found out. And marigolds, oh my gosh, like so many marigolds. So I'm doing a lot of the same things, like good companion plants that are great for the pollinators, but I'm just varying that up. And I think that may be what I'm the most excited about. I think the garden this year is going to be just absolutely beautiful. Kitten George, you look so relaxed. Silly cat. Jeremiah's going around feeding everything, and so the entire farm is like screaming right now. I don't know if you can like hear them. The goats, all the pigs, even the chickens right here kind of making a little more noise than usual. So there are my varieties. I didn't cheat too bad. I did pretty good keeping that list short. My video of must-grow varieties is almost 40 minutes long. I'm feeling pretty accomplished on that. We actually are about to get a lot of rain, but our weather is supposed to stay relatively warm. And I think I'm gonna start working on the garden. As you can see, all of the dead plants from the fall are still here. I've torn nothing out. It's all just how it was at the end of the year, with, of course, you know, a handful of cold hardy things that have made it through our pretty mild winter. Normally, by February, my garden would have been cleaned out for months. Normally, I would have had all of the soil minted by now, all of the dead plants pulled out, new compost down, mulch down, and I, you know, would be getting prepared to do some planting, not looking at tearing everything out, because I typically do that as soon as it dies. This year was different though. We lost Maya's mom in September, and this garden dying, these plants this particular season, it was kind of a hard one to let go of because like she planted this garden with me. So I've kind of just left it. And even though it's brown and ugly and these plants are dead, she picked off these plants with me, and I just wasn't ready to let them go yet. And I decided to just have grace for myself in that and just let the dead garden stay in until February. It's gonna be time here pretty soon to tear this out because seasons change, and right now they are. So it's time to plant the new garden and bring in new life. And truly, the bottom line is, for that, I am very, very thankful. It's very interesting that in the sowing and the reaping and in the death of it and in the anticipation for it, I seem to learn more lessons from this little piece of land than I have ever learned from anything else except marriage and parenting. I think that those they'll teach you a lot of things about yourself, about life, about God. Like, goodness, there are lessons in marriage and parenting. But outside of that, I don't think I've ever learned from anything like I've learned from a garden. It's good to look at the things that I'm anticipating and the things I'm looking forward to. And honestly, those things, I'm really dwelling on them right now as it's coming time to change seasons and move forward. The excitement of the new is something I'm holding on to. So, hey Benny.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Hey Benny, what are you most excited to grow in the garden this year? Peas? You always say that. Which kind? Purple peas or green peas? Green. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Make sure you go check out those two channels. Show them some love and some support. Getting started on YouTube can be really hard, and it can be really slow going and discouraging. Go love on them. I'm really thankful that I found Joshua's channel, the City Stead. They're a sweet family, and I really enjoy what they're doing with their place there. So thank you guys. God bless you. Until next time.